We are back with episode 2 of our mini-series leading up to the Rogue Invitational, and today we are looking at Trey Mitchell. So in this mini-series, we're taking a look at the athlete's recent competition history, and we're going to look at the 6 events and let you know our thoughts on how they can do. So on to your list, Trey Mitchell. He is an athlete that's done very well recently.
Yes, and let's have a look at how well. So this time last year, Trey won his first big international competition at the 2021 Shaw Classic. After that, he competed at the Arnold UK, where he placed 3rd behind Evan Singleton and Alexei Novikov. This year, he competed at his first Arnold Strongman Classic in Ohio, where he placed 7th overall. He made the final of this year's World's Strongest Man, and he placed 6th. And then his last competition this year was the Shaw Classic 2022, where he retained his title. Trey has competed in a total of 16 international competitions, and he has 3 international wins under his belt.
So Trey's someone we've been talking about for a number of years now, and the Shaw Classic has been where he's really excelled.
It's where he shined the most.
Absolutely. I expected more from Trey at the Arnolds this year.
I did too, yes.
He was coming back from some injuries.
Yes.
I believe this build-up towards this competition has gone very well for him. I'm sure he's looking forward to it. So let's take a look at the events and see how we think he can do.
First event then is the 20-inch dumbbell for reps, somewhere between 900 and 1,000 pounds. And Trey is known for his deadlifting power, isn't he? It's usually a very good event for him.
Absolutely. Trey's a huge deadlifter. I think the elevation will help him. He's just built for power, you know. Big, heavy events. You look at Trey and you think, yeah, this is for Trey. So I'm expecting a good performance on this one.
So the second event is the Husafell sandbag carry for distance, and this is a type of event that we haven't really seen Trey do, not a max endurance for distance event.
No, I've seen him do carries as part of medleys and stuff like that, and to be quite honest, I think this will be an event where he may struggle a little bit. That kind of size that he's got, he, like we said, he's built for power. He likes the power events. He's good all round, but generally speaking, the moving events haven't been his best, and I think something like this for max distance, he's a big boy. I think that endurance might struggle a little bit.
Maybe, and we say that, and you look at Trey and you do think this man is not built for a max distance carry like that. But we've seen some surprising events for people that haven't necessarily been built for it. Mark Steele at Britain's Strongest Man springs to mind. So it was Mark Steele. And then suddenly, he wins the event.
Yeah, no, this is very true. And I would be over the moon to see Trey do well on this one. Yeah, but just thinking logically, I think this may be an event where Trey loses some points.
The next event then is the sandbag load into arm over arm. 3 sandbags they have to load into this buggy, if you like, a cart, and then they have to pull it arm over arm up and over a hill.
Up a hill.
Oh yeah, sorry.
They're not going over the hill.
I'm over the hill. So we've talked a little bit about Trey's loading and moving events. Arm over arm, we actually don't have any data for, even though it's been twice in the competition that he has won twice. However, he never got to the arm over arm part of that event.
It's quite amazing to think that Trey won the Shaw Classic 2 years in a row and did very, very poorly on this event. It shows how good Trey is at some of the other events.
Benefit of having a bigger lineup as well.
Bigger lineup and more events.
Yes, exactly.
But I still think he's going to struggle on this one. These are the 2 events I think probably going to cost Trey the most points. This one potentially being the most. Grip is solid, but he's just struggled on these type of events in the past. I know you say we haven't seen him on this, but I just think...
He's got a strong old back though, hasn't he?
Yes, but it doesn't always come down to that.
I know.
It's going to be interesting. I think if it's really heavy, it could suit him. I think if it's a little bit lighter and it's kind of more athletic, I think some of the other guys will take advantage of that. So he's going to need it to be very, very heavy and hard to use that brute strength to really kind of gain those points that he wants on this one.
Next up, we have the seared dumbbell medley. So last year, the athletes had to do 5 implements. This year, it's 4, but then they have to rep out the final dumbbell.
And this is much more in Trey's domain. He likes the power events. His dumbbell has improved a lot. You know, it's very, very solid performance at the Shaw Classic on the dumbbell recently.
However, at the Arnold's this year, 125 kilo dumbbell for reps, he zeroed. I know he said he was coming back from injury.
He did, but, you know, talking to him after the Arnold's, he wasn't in his best shape. I think right now, having that confidence from the Shaw Classic and he's really focused hard on this one. You know, you've got to remember, Trey was at this show last year as the alternative.
Yeah.
So he's got that experience of being around the Rogue Invitational, because it, again, is different to a lot of shows. I think Trey scores big points on this one. And he doesn't need to lift that 4th dumbbell. When you look at the results last year,
Probably not.
second place only got 3 dumbbells.
Yeah.
So if he can get 3 in a solid time, that's going to be big points potentially. And he might be one of the guys that's capable of 4 as well.
Next up is another interesting event. It's the 455 kilo yoke into log press, where they have to press a 160-ish kilo log 3 times afterwards.
So again, returning from 2021, this event, and I think again Trey can do okay here. Yoke is probably not his favourite event,
But he's decent at it, isn't he?
Yeah, and £1,000 he'll get through it no problem.
Yeah.
And he's a very solid log lifter. Yeah. We've said before, you know, they've got to make sure they don't drain themselves on that yoke. But I think he's, again, one of the athletes from last year. He will have seen how to do it. He's very powerful in the shoulders, and I expect big points for Trey on this one.
So the final event is the stones over hitching post. They're replica inverse stones that the athletes are dealing with. They are not allowed to use tacky. They have to have the weird tacky towel. How do you think? I mean, Trey is known for his brilliant stone lifting. It's one of his best.
Very, very solid stone lifter, and I think he can finish this competition with big points.
Yeah,
he is a very good stone lifter. I think he'll be fighting hard. I'm not sure Trey is a potential winner of this show, just because there is a couple of weaknesses in there, but he's got a very good chance of getting on that podium, and I think he's going to need a good stone performance against, when you look at the whole lineup, there's a lot of guys that could be between 6th to 4th, 3rd, you know, he's going to be in that kind of battle, and I feel solid performance on the stones could nip him onto the podium.
So yeah, my initial thoughts for Trey are maybe somewhere between 3rd and 6th place. Like, I would not be surprised to see Trey on the podium. He's having a good prep for this competition. He's really focused on it. We know what he's capable of. We've seen it twice now at the Shore Classic against names like these. But I don't think these are the perfect... They're not perfect for anyone, but they're not the best events for Trey to win the competition.
No, I think there's 2 events where potentially he drops points, and that's why I would kind of probably put him in the same position. I think somewhere between 6th and 4th place, if I'm totally going out there and kind of putting my money on the table.
Okay.
I think Trey, you know, could be 4th, could sneak onto the podium, get 3rd, but somewhere around there. Do you agree, guys? Can Trey win this competition? Do you agree with us? He's somewhere around the 6th to 3rd place. He's an amazing athlete, someone that just keeps improving all the time. Exciting to see so many amazing athletes in this sport, and it makes this job so much harder. We get it wrong. Well, Liz gets it wrong more than me, but
You don't.
it's always the fun part is building up towards these shows. Can't wait to see how Trey does. Let us know your thoughts, guys. Remember, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you guys with the next one.